Hello, everyone watching around the world. This is Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk. I am your co-host, Andy Krutzinger, and Hunter has volume on his laptop. Confirmed. This episode has volume.
We are good to
confirmed. We are here on our last, a little sad, our last fall sports show of the 2023 sports season. Should I just talk slow this entire time?
No,
As I said, I'm Andy Krutzinger. We got Hunter Moeller over here in the Carhartt hat.
Peace.
And a very newish Chiefs hoodie.
I've had this for a while.
I like how it says football. And I don't need a hoodie that just says football. And one of those, the hat that Rob Lowe wore during that Super Bowl, it's just the NFL hat. I want one of those.
Yeah, it was they're on the bye week. A little less stressful this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Besides fantasy, but we won't get into that.
Bears played on Thursday, so it was just a nice little Sunday of
you had a
football.
nice Thursday night was probably a little stressful for at times, but
little bit. Well, it's the night games are stressful because I'm putting my kids to bed at the same time. I'm looking at them, and then I
tell myself I'm not going to look, and then if I'm not watching it, I'll just wait and see the results.
Yeah.
But I'm always finding myself just looking it up.
Because of technology, in the old days, you could pause the game, you could tape the game, and then you could watch it, and no one could ruin it for you,
right?
Unless they called you. And then nowadays, it's literally the results of the game just get sucked into my brain, whether I'm watching or not. Also, I have YouTube TV. Can I complain really quick before we get into high school sports?
I have something else to complain about too.
Perfect. Let's do a little complaining to start the show. I have YouTube TV, and sometimes I'll be watching the game and it'll be drops back to pass, and then my phone will be bzzzt,
yep,
20-yard touchdown pass.
Yep.
So okay,
that happens.
Yeah. What was your complaint?
Oh, I just figured you haven't written a column yet, or I figured maybe you will, about South Carolina jumping 5 spots to number one, 4 spots, I guess, to number one.
Iowa women once again robbed.
And then we move up 1 spot, even though the top 2 teams lost, and we were number 3.
Yeah, if you have been following the show for the last year, we are a big-time Iowa women's basketball podcast. We like to fight when others won't, when they're wronged, and they were wronged once again. Yeah, they were wronged once again. And then the South Carolina coaches all complaining the fact that they reviewed that championship last year and said that basically the refs were betting money on Iowa and that they were part of the mob.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah, and then the South Carolina coach probably also got a little money on the side.
Yeah.
She was like, oh, no, blah, blah, blah.
If you haven't read Andy's column from last year's national championship, go check it out.
Yeah, go check it out.
That is pristine writing.
I believe it's called Andy Blames the Refs. Oh, by the way, we are powered by Fairway Food Stores, as well as all the other ads, commercials, banner ads you'll see on your show. And if they're watching this, Hunter, where would they be watching this on?
Well, if you heard my laptop playing the podcast earlier, you can find us on Washington Live's YouTube, as well as Facebook, and then Fairfield Live and Mount Pleasant Live's Facebook as well, and also on Spotify at Washington Live. So you can find us there as well.
I just got sad for a second because I remembered the first thing that we have to talk about today, sports-wise. So
that was like a bad dream.
What is today? Tuesday?
Today's Tuesday.
So 6 days ago, Hunter Moeller and Andy Krutzinger drove up to Cedar Falls for Winfield Union's first Class 8 player semifinal football game. We had a big preview show last week. They're playing Bishop Garrigan, first time at the Dome since 1999. And for anyone who's been living under the biggest rock in the world, because how could you possibly have not at least paid attention to what happened? Winfield Union was up a couple scores at the break, but Bishop Garrigan knocks out our last football team 34-20. That's why this is the last fall sports show of the season. 34-20. Little quick recap of that game. Winfield came in a little banged up and left even more banged up. A couple more kids got hurt. It's a Class 8 player game, but Winfield had 6, 7, 8 guys that were hurt.
Yep.
A lot of them playing.
Yeah. All of them pretty much played except for Carter Lloyd, who basically had, I think it was a rolled ankle.
Yeah.
And we were on the sideline at halftime when he came back out, and it was
and he had it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
Carter Lloyd had a huge first half. So they came in with 3 injuries.
Yep.
Cam Buffington, who's been their Mr. Everything. Lane Genkinger, who's been probably their best defensive player of the playoffs. and Cole Milks, who was the big hero from the Don Bosco game. So 3 pretty huge players. All of them played, but clearly, especially with Milks and Buffington, it was like
right away, like
they were hurting.
Yeah.
There are a couple times when you just saw them like doubled over in pain after a play. And then, so Winfield goes out, and for as hurt as they were, they had a huge start. As I said, Carter Lloyd had he had a big first half. He recovered a fumble. Then he made a great catch, which Hunter got a great picture of, which was our main picture in that story, I believe. One-handed catch that set up the first of 2 rushing touchdowns by Mr. Cam Buffington in that first half. And also in that first half, Jake Edwards found Abram Edwards on a touchdown pass. So it was 20-6 at halftime.
Yep.
But it was a weird feeling at halftime because
it almost felt like with all the injuries and stuff, and you almost felt like Bishop Garrigan, I don't know, like that half, it almost felt like just something was going to go wrong because of either if it was the injuries or it felt like they had basically it was almost like the end of that half there was kind of a foreshadowing what was to come, because they kind of started getting the run game going right at the half, and it was like, oh no, if they're injured coming out, what's gonna happen, and we kind of saw that in the second half.
Yeah, there's a little foreshadowing where first off, I remember at halftime, so it was 20-6 Winfield, Mount Union. We looked up at the scoreboard, I remember, that had the total yards mark.
Yeah, and it was...
We're like, oh no, Bishop Garrigan is outgaining Winfield Mount Union. You could tell that with the injuries, and by that time, Carter had went down. There were guys that were hurting and playing that we haven't even mentioned yet.
Yeah.
And you could just tell that the run game for Bishop Garrigan was starting to pick up. And so we kind of had this aura over it, hopefully Bishop Garrigan doesn't go out and score when they have the ball first in the third quarter, because that would totally change the game, I believe is what we were talking about.
Yep.
And what happened? That's exactly what happened. Bishop Garrigan scored a touchdown immediately and the 2, which took it from a 14-point game to a 6-point game. And then all of a sudden, then it's panic mode a little bit on the sideline. Kids are scrambling to try and get out there. Kids are going down left and right. Somewhere in the third or fourth quarter, might have been the fourth quarter, Jake Edwards went down for a little bit. He still played offense, but he was obviously hurting a bit. He came out for a couple of plays on defense. So that's 5 kids we've already named that were banged up. I know Cale Johnson was out there. He looked like he was hurting, and he was right there in the middle of the run defense. So long story short, defensively, it was tough for Winfield Mount Union to stop the run. What's that kid's name for Bishop
Caden
Garrigan?
Roffler.
Yeah,
he exploded in the
He exploded, and they just put it up the middle over and over. They would give it to the fullback. The quarterback had a couple of runs, so they mixed up a little bit, but it was mostly that lead back for them.
28 unanswered.
28 unanswered. He scored all 4.
Yep.
All 4 in the second. He scored 4 times, but it was all of the second half touchdowns. And then so there was basically Bishop Garrigan comes out. So they tied at 20-20. They took the lead in the fourth quarter, 26-20.
Yep.
But they missed the 2-point conversion. That was like a rare stop for the Winfield defense in the second half. So it was like, all right, 6-point game. All of a sudden, first play out after a pretty good return, I believe. Little screen pass to Cam Buffington. Breaks it out down the sideline right next to us.
If he misses, it's situation. If he gets 1 foot, if his foot is an inch in front of the other, he's scoring a touchdown. Basically.
Yeah. If he would have broke one more tackle, and he got down to maybe the 25.
Yeah.
I was literally standing right there. The kid dove at his feet. The kid had to dive at his feet, try and take him down. Helmet, boom, right on. I don't even know if it was the ankle that was hurt.
Yeah.
But if you weren't hurt at all, you're 100% healthy.
That would hurt.
Take that tackle, you would have been hurt.
Yeah.
Because the helmet kind of smashed into the ankle a little bit.
Yep.
Not a little bit, a lot bit. So then it's the biggest play for Mount Union, but then Buffington's down. He's he's getting rewrapped in the trainer. You can tell that was a big one. And then credit to the Bishop Garrigan defense. They force a fumble.
Yep.
And then score the dagger on the other end. So it all happened so fast that Winfield Mount Union actually did have the ball with 5 minutes left, down a couple scores. And we thought maybe if they score and get the 2, something crazy, something crazy can happen just from the chaos of momentum of football and stuff. But was not to be.
Yeah, and you got to give credit to where credit is due, kind of for Bishop Garrigan, because we knew coming in that looking at Winfield Mount Union, you knew two things. We knew Jake Edwards could pass the ball, and we knew that was going to have to happen. But did we really think that they were going to slow down the Winfield Mount Union rush as much as they did? Winfield Mount Union had 10 yards total rushing. Buffington led with 36 yards, but
because of all the net yards.
But negative yards there. So, I mean, really up front they were kind of doing pretty good, especially in that second half is where a lot of that damage came from, because I think it was like 20 yards in the first half. We looked up at the board and we're like, oh man. But Jake Edwards, I mean, just that one interception, really he played pretty good game there.
Yeah, he played pretty good for the last 2 weeks. Yeah, they needed him to, because they started to not run the ball very well again when they started getting hurt against Don Bosco.
And then I would say another big takeaway from that you and I kind of discussed is we felt like Abram Edwards really could have just burned them all night long. Because
he had an advantage.
There were a couple times, that one play, he went up over the kid and he just couldn't reel it in. But he did
reel it in, but it was out of bounds.
Yeah, it was out of bounds, and then so he finished with 81 yards on 5 catches. That one touchdown you mentioned. So, I mean, they did all they could. Obviously, the injuries, played a huge factor in that last quarter there, especially. So, just a tough way to go out for them, but great season nevertheless. 1999 last time they went there, and
yeah. I mean, I'd have to look back. I don't think Winfield Union has been to one state championship, I believe, because when they went to the Dome in the 90s, I think they went 3 times. But other than that, this is the best semifinal I think that they had. I mean, they were in the lead. One thing that really hurt was we watched the second game between Bedford and Gladbrook Rhinebeck, not the whole thing, but a little bit, and we said, oh man, these two teams are about of the skill level of Bishop Garrigan. And so Bedford and Bishop Garrigan play tomorrow morning. I don't know who's going to win that game. I think it's going to be close.
Yeah, I think so too.
And I also said that given that WMU is a little bit healthier when they played Don Bosco, if you took Don Bosco and played him against those teams,
I think that'd be a good game too.
I think it'd be a good game too. So it was kind of like, oh gosh dang it, as everyone's been saying the last 2 weeks, and they're like, oh, if only we were healthy, if only Winfield was healthy. But it's football, It's not like everyone's, it's not like the other teams are 100% healthy. But so yeah, bitter end to a great season for the Wolves. We got, I'm sure, some more winning coming up. Boys basketball season. We'll see who's playing. We'll see who's playing earlier in the year. I was talking to Slayton at KLJ, and he said, "Yeah, we're excited because we got the big Waco Winfield game. I think on December 5th for boys basketball." He's like, "But I don't know how many Winfield kids are going to be playing in that game. So we'll see what happens." But that's all she wrote from the Dome. Yeah, but it was a good experience, right?
Yeah.
We wore nice work/church clothes. We weren't too hot.
Yep.
That's fun.
It was good. It's always nice going there and just having the experience, I guess. And I always like the beginning, everyone's so hyped up, and it's always fun to kind of be a part of that energy.
There were so many Winfield. So we wrote obviously a bunch of stories. The breaking story, because we didn't have enough time to get a full story on the first day, and then I wrote the game story. Hunter wrote a feature, and then last night, today's paper, we'll just have a bunch of pictures of kind of the scenes of the Dome, which the big crowd, Dwayne Johnson, who is a veteran, we got a picture of him in there, I believe, at least online. He was honored as part of the veterans thing between the first and second quarter. Shout out to Winfield students, Gabriel Hensworth and Josie Nelson.
Put on quite the show.
Put on a great show on the halftime the field goal contest. I don't remember them doing that last year. Maybe they did. But Gabriel Hemsworth, I joked that because Winfield hasn't been kicking any field goals, and Hemsworth did he go 100%?
I think he hit all of them.
I think he hit every single field goal, and I was like, I honestly might just tell Coach McCarty to talk to him between the semifinals and the championship, because he was bombing them through.
Yeah.
So so it was actually a 1-1 day because Winfield did beat Bishop Garrigan in the field goal contest. But yeah, that's it. That's it for football.
Yep.
Well, we'll talk about the all district. That's volleyball.
That's volleyball. Yep.
Yeah, that's it for football talk. We'll have a little bit here and there. We'll have all state and stuff like that come out, but no more football teams, no more volleyball teams, no more cross country. So.
Yep.
But we got more stuff to talk about.
Yes.
We'll go to commercial, come back, have a little volleyball talk, a little basketball talk for all you winter sports.
Yeah.
And
that's coming up quick.
That's coming up quick. So we'll see you in about 3 minutes.
Federation Bank is a locally owned bank providing award-winning customer service. We believe that we are more than just a federation of banks, but a federation of communities, serving Brighton, Richland, Wellman, and Washington, Iowa. Federation Bank's highly skilled staff is here to make sure you are able to accomplish your personal and professional goals, whatever they may be. Federation Bank, your family bank.
Hospice isn't a place, it's a type of care that focuses on living. Servicing a 7-county area, the Hospice of Washington County staff of nurses, social work, hospice aides, spiritual and grief support, volunteers, music and massage therapists are able to provide free end-of-life care where the patient lives. We write wills, give consent for organ donation, but rarely is there a plan for what we would want the final phase of our lives. At Hospice of Washington County, we encourage our patients to be in charge of their healthcare decisions while maintaining quality of life.
Tammy takes the time and has the personal interest in each one of us. I don't worry about what's going to happen because I know my policy is taken care of.
She pulls what I need and puts it together, which is the program I get from her.
Every year she calls around September or so and says, there's changes again, and I'm going to do the best thing for you. It's been perfect. She does a great job.
At the Capper Auto Group, we put our customers' needs first and understand that everyone is as different as the vehicle they select. We offer new Ford, Chevrolet, Buick, GMC, Jeep, Chrysler, Dodge, and Ram vehicles in a friendly environment that puts you in the driver's seat. When it comes to service, we maintain factory-trained technicians and competitive pricing. The Capper Auto Group still believes that service after the sale provides the best customer experience. Come see the Capper experience for yourself.
I am Melissa Westfall with Homegirl Realty. Heather and Charlotte and I have worked together for many years, and we have always had a vision to have a business together.
I'm Charlotte Howard, and the good news is we bring a very high level of experience. We have a combined 80 plus years of experience in this real estate marketplace.
I'm Heather Merrick, and Homegirl Realty brings a lot of things to the table. We have phenomenal communication with our clients, buyers and sellers, to make sure things are going smoothly and you don't have anything to worry about.
Welcome back to Savage Iowa Union Sports Talk. We are in our second window of a 3-window, it's like a hockey game. It's like we're in the second period right now. Shout out Cotter and Bernard. I know you're watching. You're the greatest hockey player of all time.
Man, he's picking it up.
Yeah.
He's picking it up as late.
Win like 100 Stanley Cups. We're going to talk a little volleyball, but first, Ray Vans left his jacket here. You want to see how I look in Ray's jacket? Put that down. This is a fancy looking jacket. He wears this a lot.
Yep. Every day, he says.
Every day? Someone put it
Oh,
on.
yeah.
See how it suits me. Do I look good? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let me
This
tune into the
actually.
YouTube.
I used to wear a lot more suit jackets. This is really big. A little bit of a bigger.
He said it was gonna be big.
It's big on him. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
No,
Hey, looks pretty good on the live stream.
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm just gonna hang out like this for the rest of the show.
Do it.
Don't let me walk home with this. Oh wait. Dr. Evil. Dr. Evil. $1 million. Dr. Evil.
That is pretty good.
$1 million. It's the 90s. $1 million really isn't that much anymore. Anyway, great movies. I remember. If you ever want to make your wife question whether she really wants to be with you or not, watch all the Austin Powers movies night after night for 3 nights straight. Because,
You did that, huh?
Yeah, I was like, man, I kind of want to watch an Austin Powers movie. And then she came down. She's like, what are you watching? Oh, Austin Powers. She's like, you like those movies? I'm like, yeah, have you ever seen them? She's like, no. I'm like, sit down and watch them. I don't know why my brain said that she'd like it. And then like 5 minutes later, I was like, that was a mistake. But great movies. I'm one of the best movies that I grew up basically.
Hey, they're so funny.
Still remember being like 6th grade when that third one came out. What was I going to say? Oh, that's right.
I don't know.
I was going to swing it over to Hunter, by the way. We're powered by Fairway Food Stores. Hunter, you got a little all-district volleyball action in the paper today.
Yep.
Tell me who made it.
Yeah, let's just run through it real quick.
Yeah,
Obviously, Mid Prairie being the team, our Union area team that made it the farthest. The Golden Hawks represent this year with the most selections. That would be Class 4A. They have 4 spots, including District Coach of the Year. And then Washington earns 1 player selection in that Southeast District. All these are Southeast districts. And 2A, there's 1 selection for Van Buren County, and then 2 selections for Winfield Mount Union in Class 1A, as well as 1 for New London. So for Mid Prairie, the all-district picks are junior Dakota Mitchell, and then sophomores Harper Pasha and Jovi Evans. And then Golden Hawks head coach Sherry Evans is the 2023 3A Southeast District Coach of the Year after helping Mid Prairie to that regional final there, 1 game from within state. For Washington, sophomore Leighton Messenger is an all-district pick. We've seen her really step up her game this year. We knew she was going to be good. She's going to be good for years to come, too. Van Buren County, senior Ivy Davidson is the sole 2A selection. And then in 1A, Winfield Mount Union's Audrey Gipple and Ari Meeker are both on the 1A list. And then for New London, the lone pick is senior Sophie Malott. So yeah, and then if you want to see the full list, the full list of just the Southeast regions are online or in the paper, as you mentioned today.
Yeah, Southeast Iowa Union, pick it up. By the way, just going to run through because this is something you're going to do here in a second. Is type up the all-state teams. Yep. I just decided to pull them up because I know we haven't had them out yet, but Mid Prairie had a couple. Dakota Mitchell, a first-team all-stater, well-deserved there. Oh, yeah. I think that was pretty easy for the Iowa Girls Coaches Association to pick that one. Jovi Evans, the triple-double machine, is a third-teamer. Harper Pasha is a fourth-teamer in Class 2A, and I believe when I scrolled through earlier, it was just the Mid Prairie kids that had made it. And if I'm wrong, then write my hate mail at Andy Dog. Actually, send it directly on Twitter at A. Kretzinger, not at our Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk, Southeast Iowa Union Twitter, because we don't deserve double hate.
Yeah, I don't want to get any hate.
To my Twitter at A. Kretzinger. Yep. I so regret that I didn't make myself real Andy Kretzinger, because that used to be kind of a funny thing that people did.
Yeah, like real so-and-so.
Like real whoever. But whatever. Another life. Yep. So volleyball, done.
Yep. Over with.
Football, done.
State was
very comfy.
2 weeks ago? No, 2 weeks ago.
State was a couple weeks ago now. I watched a couple games. Holy Trinity went all the way to the state championship.
Yep.
Shows that Southeast Iowa volleyball is still pretty darn good. I went to the All-Star. Did I talk about that last week? I went to the All-Star game last Saturday. I think I did talk about that last week. Yeah, I sure did. Well, hey, you want me to talk about that? You're saying I want to hear about the Southeast Iowa All-Star game that was played in Mediapolis. You know what you do is you click on Washington Live's YouTube, which you're on right now, and then you just go back to the last Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk and scroll through. Maybe a second or third commercial, and you'll be able to find out how that did. And for those of you that stick through this next commercial break, we're going to talk a little basketball. Basketball. I watched some basketball. We talking about practice? No, we're talking about a jamboree that I was at last night. So we're going to talk about that when we get back. And so
stick
back
around.
To the sponsors, Mr. Alex. See you in a bit.
Family owned and operated by Andy and Sarah Ross, Ross Auto has been your vehicle repair and maintenance headquarters since 1935. We specialize in all makes of cars and light-duty trucks. With our variety of available services, let us help you keep rolling and your vehicle operating efficiently. Services include general auto repair, alignments, brakes, fuel injection, and more. Schedule your appointment today at 319-653-5656. That's 319-653-5656.
At 5 Star Community Credit Union, we want to help you lead a better life. We offer competitive rates and convenient appointment times for all kinds of loans: auto, recreational vehicles, home equity, line of credit, holiday, and personal loans. We make it easy to build your credit and enjoy the good things in life.
We invite you to join 5 Star Community Credit Union. We are community-minded and member-focused. Come visit our locations in West Burlington and Mount Pleasant or online at 5starcu.org. Federally insured through the NCUA, Equal Housing Lender.
At Brown Shoe Fit, we pride ourselves on traditional sit and fit service that's been serving the Mount Pleasant area since 1952. At Brown's, we have shoes for the whole family. From kids to adults, we carry the finest footwear for every occasion. Whether you're looking for something for work, casual wear, or exercise, we've got you covered. And don't forget about our selection of safety toe footwear for both men and women. Come visit us 6 days a week and experience the best in traditional sit and fit service. Brown Shoe Fit, where quality and tradition meet.
Get ready to light up your holidays in Southeast Iowa like never before. The Mount Pleasant Festival Lights is back brighter than ever. Starting November 22nd and running every night through New Year's Eve, the Festival Lights is the ultimate drive-through holiday experience. But here's the real excitement. For 2 nights only on December 18th and 19th from 5:30 to 8 p.m., you can ditch your car and walk and run through the lights. With over 150 dazzling light displays, this is a perfect way to kick off your holiday season. For dates, times, directions, and ticket information, visit oldthreshers.com.
Welcome back to Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk Live. We are here on a Tuesday, November the 13th. Should we do birthdays?
14th.
November the 14th, 2023. This is my last Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk ever. I'm actually quitting. No, I'm just kidding. This is my last Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk as a father to a 1-year-old. My child turns 2 on the 20th. My second child, I got a 5 too. So reminds me to maybe do some birthdays. Any guesses on any birthdays just off the top of your head? Who's gonna be the most famous?
I have no clue.
Probably like King Charles III.
King William King Charles III or King William III?
King Charles.
King William III is also has his birthday today. If you're a third king, look, right?
Really? Oh.
Yeah, if you're a king the third, I wonder if Robert Williams the third, he played basketball, right? Is that a name? Did I mess that name up?
I don't know. Robert
John Lucas the third. Shout out John Lucas the third.
I think Robert Williams.
Great NBA
Robert
player.
Williams.
One of my favorites when he was on the Bulls. Wonder if they have birthdays today. If you're a third, if you're named the second, like if I was James Kretzinger the second, my dad's name is James.
That'd be cool.
It's a lot of pressure to name your boy.
That is true. That would be cool, though.
Oh, wait, that looks like
James Kretzinger the
King
second.
Charles. Oh, R.I.P. King Charles. Right? No, his wife died. He's still alive.
Yep.
Still alive. Congratulations on that, King Charles. Because he is the king now.
Right.
That's why I got screwed up because
you weren't thinking
when you're a
about-
little kid, you think there's a king and a queen.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's like, no, one of them's dead, dies, and then the other one.
Yep. Takes
Anyway,
over.
yeah. Just democracy. Give democracy a chance, England. Let's get some presidents in there. Met a bunch of people I've never heard of. I honestly wish that I didn't even look these up because Josh Duhamel,
Oh, yeah. Beat out Ashton Kutcher in a... never mind. Nothing. I'm pretty sure they got discovered together through a modeling contest or something.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then Ashton Kutcher lost to him.
Oh, wow.
But,
Ashton should have won. Taylor Hall, a current Chicago Blackhawk. Did I just talk about the Blackhawks last time around?
Yes.
It's his birthday, 32. I'm older than Taylor Hall. I wouldn't have thought that
That's
because
crazy.
in my brain, Taylor Hall is an older
You're 32.
NHL player. I'm 33.
What?
So, yeah.
I thought you were 31.
No, I wish I was 31. I wish I was 21. But Have you ever seen that meme that's like, oh, I'm 33, I've got my whole life ahead of me. And then he's watching a sports game and the announcer's like, 32-year-old Taylor Hall, a medical anomaly, still in professional sports, the oldest player in the league. That's how I feel these days. Vanessa Bayer, former Saturday Night Live person.
Oh, yeah.
And then Yanni, that singer.
Yanni.
The pianist. Yanni. He's like a piano player. And all I know is that he's on an episode of Impractical Jokers. James Murray is a big fan of Yanni's.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's all. Wait, and we actually have more sports to talk about because I got into the birthdays. I'm supposed to talk about basketball.
Yep.
Hunter, I watched some basketball last night. We're both going to be watching some basketball here in a few days.
Yep.
Mount Pleasant High School hosted their annual jamboree. I say that like they've hosted it a lot of years in a row. This is actually the first time Mount Pleasant's hosted this jamboree. Last year it was hosted by Winfield. It used to be hosted by Iowa Wesleyan University, and it's always kind of the first jamboree. It's always got a bunch of Southeast Iowa Union sports teams. I was very thankful because there's 4 games, 8 teams, and we had 4 teams, and I didn't have to go to the whole thing last night because all our teams played against each other in the last 2 games of the season. So showed up, by the way, the first 2 games of the night, Burlington, these are jamboree games. They play a half. You don't play full bore. Everyone kind of gets to play. So take these results with a grain of salt. But Burlington 26, Lone Tree 19, and Keokuk 32, Mediapolis 19. That Keokuk Mediapolis game, I did watch the second half of that. Oh, crud. I was supposed to take pictures and send them to the Fort Madison and the Hawkeye people. Need to do that today. Made a promise, and I didn't keep it. But it was very high octane. I think those teams are going to be pretty good. Now to our team is Winfield, Mount Union, and Fairfield showdown. Fairfield was up 15-7 after the first quarter and went on to beat WMU 26-15 in that third jamboree game of the day. Brianna Steele, great game, 8 points. She looked really good down low. For the Trojans, she led the way. Grace Lyon had 7 points for the Trojans. Savannah Hollander, who I fully expect to be one of our best players in the big school girls ranks, had 4 points for the Trojans. And for Winfield Mount Union, Pacey Slee had 7 points, and Kaylin Townsley 6 hit a couple threes. So I'm glad there's a Townsley in threes still, since that's been what. 6-7 years since there hasn't been a Townsley on the WMU girls basketball team. Yep. So I got one more coming through. She's a sophomore. So and she hit 3. I felt right watching her hit threes. Yeah. Like, there we go. That's still,
that's the Townsley way.
That's how it's supposed to go here. Schlee they got 2 Schlees on the WMU team. That's also pretty good. Athletic name for the Wolves. And then Mount Pleasant played Waco. Mount Pleasant was up 12-9 after the first quarter, and 23-14 after the half, which is the whole deal. Abigail Carthy had a great game, 10 points. Looked really good handling the ball for Mount Pleasant. Kinley White ended up with 5 points. Maya Starr banged in a 3. Shout out Tony Starr, who's one of our advertisers, former sniper himself. And sniper as in basketball player.
Shooter.
He wasn't in the Army.
He was a shooter.
Well, I don't know. I guess I don't know what he did after basketball and before he had kids, but I assume not. Waco, very balanced for Waco. Marie Farmer with 5. Emma Wagler with 4. They had 5 players score in the game. So there we go. Again, those are jamborees, so just kind of fun. Not too crazy, but it's, they keep score and they keep fouls and they do free throws. And so it's one step closer to the real thing. This Thursday, Fairfield will host Meet the Trojans night. There'll be a little scrimmage, I believe inter-squad scrimmage on that. And then Mount Pleasant hosts Meet the Players night on Thursday as well. Those both start at 6 p.m.
It's coming up
quick. It's coming up quick. We have a bunch of winter sports previews to do. We're already getting nervous that we have those games and the winter sports previews and the normal paper stuff. So try not to think about it. Anyway, that's all we got. You got anything else?
Yeah, we gotta give you some shout outs quick.
Shout outs.
We've got a couple kids heading to Iowa to play baseball. Shout out former New London standout, now Central Arizona Community College baseball player Cooper Schulte signed his national letter of intent to play for the Hawkeyes.
State champion Cooper Schulte.
State champion, New London. And then we've also got Carson Grout, Mid-Prairie senior this year, also signed his national letter of intent last Wednesday. Darren Wellman. He's heading to play some baseball for the Hawkeyes as well.
And he has been committed for a while for the Hawkeyes.
While. And then Nate Smithberg, former Fairfield baseball player over at Indian Hills. He's heading to Oklahoma.
Oklahoma Boomer Sooner.
Boomer Sooner.
Talked to Nate yesterday on the phone. He said he's excited they're moving to the city. He reminded me they're moving to the Southeast Conference. That is a very good baseball conference.
Yeah.
So he's going to be pitching against the best of the best. So
Yep.
So exciting. 3 Division I signees that all happened bang, bang, bang a few days ago.
That's
baseball's going good.
Yeah.
For the Southeast Iowa Union
Got a lot of good
area.
baseball players.
Yeah. Three D1s for this area is pretty impressive. Yes, and that's it for Southeast Iowa Union Sports Talk.
Yep.
Tune in next week when we will talk about probably the Meet the Players games, a lot of the basketball, a little wrestling. And bowling coming up.
Yeah.
I got the alleys.
Oh, yeah.
Bowl on.
The old alleys. Yeah, I need to go get some bowling in too.
Yeah, I do some bowling, some basketball.
Let's go bowling.
Not wrestling. Let's go bowling right now. Let's call the boss. Tell him sports pages. Just fill it with I don't know, pictures, something. So just go blank. And
We're gonna go Andy and Hunter out bowling.
Yeah, we're out bowling. We'll take pictures of ourselves bowling.
Alex, you can go bowling?
Nice. What?
Yeah. All right.
Nice. All right. We're gonna go bowling and skip out on our jobs. Maybe get some lunch at the bowling alley.
There we go.
We're in Mount Pleasant. You can eat at the bowling alley. I always do when I go to cover bowling.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I always eat.
That's smart.
Save it so I can eat some bowling alley food. That's it.
Yeah.
I want to do the Ferris Bueller thing. Like, that's all. Why are you still here?
Yeah.
Great movie.
Leave. Get out of here.
Leave. Get out of here. We'll see ya
next week.